Good morning. I am Dr. Elizabeth Samantha Rothschild Judge. I want to address a topic this morning about stalking and harassment, right? I want to make sure that people understand that the differential between being a fan and supporter versus being a stalker and harasser. So fans and supporters are aware of what's going on, just like stalkers and harassers. Fans and supporters are compassionate and they understand the privacy of those they admire and support. Stalkers and harassers give no play to privacy. They are invaders of privacy. They're rude and obnoxious. They show up, and stalkers and harassers want to remain subliminal. They like to dwell in the sublime, and they are always making annoyances for appearances. It's about appearances. It's about seeming to know something, seeming to be in the know, in the loop, seeming to be a part of the in crowd when really they're not. They don't even try to be. What has happened to me is people show up, they follow from one place to the next, and then they show up and then they don't talk directly to me. And when they do, it's obvious that they're trying to cast off the association that they facaded as though they hadn't. In other words, they've played make believe and lived vicariously out of my presence. And then when they're in my presence, they know that I'm not going to be in agreement with their pretend or make believe fantasy. So they can't just keep living vicariously in my presence. And so they step off for appearances, but not really stepping off. They're still there trying to succumb within a particular domain of existence that is placated by only their imagination. Okay, so word to the fans and supporters: when you go out in the public and you see someone that you support or that you admire, or even if you plan it, you plan to be there, that does not make you a stalker or a harasser. You plan to be there. Show your support. Be a good fan. Be a good supporter. Don't associate to persons where you can see it's obvious that they have varied intentions and negative impact on that person or the people whom you are supporting and admiring. As for the stalkers and harassers, when they show up and you see that someone is trying to disassociate or be distant from them, it is not a fear necessarily. For instance, with me, I just don't want to be bothered. I mean, I feel if people can't walk up and introduce themselves to me in order to bear association, then it's not worth knowing them. And I'm not going to sit there and feel admired. I don't feel flattered by people showing up where I'm going to be and then not saying anything to me, but trying to put on an appearance or air as though I had planned with them for them to be there with me, because that's not what I do. If I'm going to be somewhere with someone, I can bring them in with me. We can arrive together, or it is obvious that we are meeting up and we talk and discuss things. I don't believe in the sublime. I don't do things for appearances. Performances are enough rather than to fake and go along with someone just for appearances. That's not what I do. Why? Because it leads to criminal activity. It sets one up for criminal activity. So, just to say, I know there are many persons who deal with this. I deal with it all day, every day, and have dealt with it all day, every day for many, many years. I have a phone number that's available to the public. I have public emails. I have web forms on my web pages. There is no need for anyone to pop up on me anywhere. If a person pops up on me somewhere, how is that fair if I'm in the business of making money so that I can pay for a place to live? And persons pop up and they don't want to make an appointment, and their presence ruins it for me being able to communicate with other persons. Maybe I'm seeking to communicate, and these persons are disrupting the flow of my workday when I have not chosen to be connected to them in any way. So that's obstruction of true business. But they're not giving me any money for my daily expenses. They're not covering my overhead or my cost of living. So they don't have a right to interrupt that way. I'm in business for myself. So that's where it poses a problem. However, fans and supporters, they totally respect that. They'll call, they press like on the social media. They leave positive and energizing comments, not negative comments, not negative impact. They don't sit, fans and supporters don't sit close by and then just start speaking out loud so that I could overhear them as though I asked someone to show up and talk, because that's not how it works. A meeting is by appointment, or where two people agree to sit and speak with one another on whatever particular topics they choose on which to speak. A stalker or harasser comes just at whatever time, sits near, and then they say things out loud to no one in particular, but they pretend like it's okay that they're addressing the person whom they're stalking. Well, that disrupts business for me. If I'm out and I maybe want to meet someone or get into business, have a meeting, and then someone comes speaking out loud about something that is totally irrelevant and has nothing to do with what I'm doing, because they've lived so vicariously outside of my presence that when they come near, their sheer embarrassment causes them to blurt out ignorance and foul things because of their sub-existence within a minimal standard of public portrayal. Meaning, it's a free country. Anybody can go where they want to go. It's free speech. Anyone can say what they want to say. But remember this, your rights as an American citizen extend only as far as the rights of another American citizen. I have a right to speak out. Everyone has a right to speak out. I can't really just tell anyone to shut up and not use their voice, but I can tell them, do not talk to me if I don't want to be addressed. You have that right as an American citizen. You may not be able to shut anyone up, but you can tell them, do not talk to you. When someone is sitting nearby and they're speaking, you say, don't talk to me. But they didn't actually talk to you because of their cowardness. The cowardice, they'd be totally sublime. And if addressed, well, I wasn't talking to you, I don't even know you, then why did you show up where I am? Obviously stalking. Displaying ignorant behavior. Trying to make appearances for people who may or may not know any better that there's some association. When addressed, they deny all knowledge, just like a coward. So, like I said, we want to continue to be respectful of those that we admire and support. But we also want to be aware that there are stalkers and harassers who will stop at nothing to stalk and harass someone, even if it means watching from where they're staying and watching that place to see if they'll leave out, and then following them to wherever they go, interrupting anyone's day without an appointment. So in closing, I want to say this. Does anyone want to talk to me? If your answer is yes, then you need to make an appointment. If you see me, you can make an appointment face to face and we'll set a time. Other than that, do not show up talking out loud next to me, because 9 out of 10, I don't know what the hell you're even speaking about and am not interested. I am out to do business and conduct business. If you disrupt my business day and you don't compensate me for it, then you are obstructing true business, and that is a federal crime. All right. So with that being said, everyone have a great day. And remember what I said, your rights extend only as far as the rights of another person.